Okay, so the lecture, Unit 5, Lecture 2B, the Radical Republicans and Johnson are clashing. Johnson, who had come after Lincoln as president, is a native of Tennessee, is racially prejudiced, and he just doesn't feel that the African American should have the civil rights that the Radical Republicans want them to have. Right? He doesn't want to extend so much of the rights of citizens to them. So since Johnson's constantly in their way and trying to block their efforts to give the freedmen or former slaves, civil rights, the Radical Republicans have reached their limit. They become so frustrated, they try to impeach Johnson. Okay? Fortunately, I guess, fortunately in a way, the Senate fails by one vote to remove Johnson from office. Okay, impeachment's bringing charges against. It's not removing. It's bringing charges or bringing an official to trial for a misconduct in office. All right. Under the Constitution, the House of Representatives may impeach a president, bring formal charges against him for treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. Then the United States Senate sits as a jury at the president's impeachment trial. If 2/3 of the senators vote to convict the president, then he is removed from office. Okay, this impeachment's important. We don't impeach presidents because we can't get along with them, we don't like them, or they're not doing what we want. All right, that would be silly. It would be ridiculous, because every time you had an opposition party in Congress, we could bring impeachment charges or begin an impeachment process against the president. So nothing would get done. All right. So it's, in a way, it's good Johnson's impeachment fails, because he really hadn't committed any crimes. He was just blocking the agenda of the Radical Republicans. Okay. So in order to carry out their program to help African Americans, the Radical Republicans are going to add 3 amendments to the U.S. Constitution. You need to know these. They're huge, all right? They're on that board from the first part of this lecture. We call these the Civil War Amendments, okay? And these are the major political result of the Civil War and Reconstruction, all right? These are going to be the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments. The 13th Amendment permanently abolishes slavery, all right? Abolishes its ends. So it permanently abolishes slavery in the United States. The 14th Amendment grants citizenship, American citizenship, to all African Americans. It defines citizens as all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. Okay? It also said no state could deny any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. In other words, 14th Amendment prohibited the states from denying African Americans equal rights under the law. Okay, and finally, the 15th Amendment gave African American males the right to vote by guaranteeing voting rights regardless of race, color, or previous condition of servitude. Former slaves. Okay, so we want to know these amendments and know them well. And one thing, we'll go back to the 14th Amendment on a number of occasions, because it comes up today in political talk. When the 14th Amendment was passed, we can look at their arguments and realize when it was passed that they understood that that meant any person who was born here. Even if their parents weren't citizens, any person that was born here. They were aware of this when they passed the amendment, and were okay with it. Okay, that's going to be Unit 5, Lecture 2B. We're going to go into the economic impact with the next couple lectures.